Have you ever broken up with a boyfriend?
Yes.
Yeah.
Many times.
Done it and have had it done to me.
Yeah.
Well, I liked him a lot. We've been going out for 8 months, and my birthday is like Thursday, and he dumped me yesterday. So like I hate him so much.
Sorry.
So I went to Hot Topic. She took me to Hot Topic, and then we went shopping, and she made me feel better.
Teenage relationships, people are so in denial because they try to act like it's some adult relationship. They're like, yeah, we need to work this out, da-da-da. And they don't realize, like, it's so much hormones. They just want to, like, be close and feel each other and whatever. That's what they want. It's hormones, and they think it's something more than it is. Like, it just annoys me.
It is no surprise to everyone that many teenage relationships do not last. Whether they end in a friendly way or with harsh feelings, breakups are a big stress for some young people.
Because many young people confuse infatuations with love. When the initial attraction and feeling fade away, the other person no longer seems perfect.
Most young people had good suggestions for dealing with a breakup. Letting out emotions.
Talking with friends.
Or meeting new people were some of the coping techniques.
Others admitted that, depending on the length of the relationship, there would be a time of real sadness.
Hi, I'm Jamie.
And I'm Steve.
And this is Real Faith TV.
Breakups, when to get out and how to cope. That's what we're going to be talking about today.
In the spotlight today, Dan shared a few of his breakup experiences and what he has learned.
Our music video today is Super Good Feeling by Bleach.
We will talk with our guests in the studio about coping with breakups. But first, let's go back to the teens on the street and see what kinds of feelings they experience after a breakup.
Feelings I experienced were sometimes angry and sad. Depends what the reason was for.
Feeling like left out a little bit, lonely, but then again, I have good friends like Kenny and Aaron. These guys over here, to hang out with, so. I mean, me and her are friends, we still talk and stuff, so you never know.
It was hard, It's hard to break up with someone that you like a lot, and then all of a sudden they're gone and you have this whole routine and then it's just not there anymore, and it's real tough. I cried a lot.
They're jerks. Guys are jerks. That's it. That's my... okay, that's it. I'm like... All right, like you picked me on a bad day for that question.
You can be upset, like you're allowed to be upset even if it's just a little relationship. But you have to realize this is what it is and take it as that, and just then you have to let go. Because if you think this was my soulmate, and now he's gone, and you get so depressed.
Yeah, it hurts, but you get over it, It's just puppy love. Guys treat me like crap all the time. I hate guys. They're real jerks. I think I'm gonna become a nun.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I agree with that one guy where he said it's just the routine, and it's hard when you lose the routine.
You're doing something so long for...
Yeah, and you get used to it. But.
Exactly. You know what? Let's find out what our studio guests think.
Sounds good.
Let's find out who we have here today. Joining us today, Beth, Courtney, Mike, and Jess.
Okay, now you guys, tell the truth. Who here has experienced a breakup? Now, what were some of the feelings you experienced?
Well, for me, it was kind of just a mutual thing. We felt we were going nowhere, and it really, just the feelings we had for each other were gone, so.
In my case, I was the one who did the breaking up, so my feelings were more oh my gosh, I don't want to hurt this person, I still want to be their friend, they're not a bad person, I just didn't feel the same way about them, so I had all these worries about how they were going to react, and that's mostly what the feelings were for me.
Well, in my case, it was just we never actually broke up, we just stopped talking to each other. And we just never spoke again after that.
So I think I can be considered a breakup.
Yeah. Or some could look at it, there was never an official breakup, so you could still be, anyway. It happens,
My girlfriend broke up with me to go back out with her ex-boyfriend.
Oh, man.
Rough.
Yeah,
that's bad.
There could be a lot of reasons for a breakup. Let's see what some of the reasons were that the teens had that we talked to on the street.
He was going to college, and I just didn't want to be in a relationship with someone that was going away. And it was,
I've broken up with a guy, and it took me 4 months to get over him. But then I met another guy, and
got over him.
I just recently, like a couple months ago, got dumped because my ex-boyfriend heard things about me from his ex-girlfriend, who I like knew, and like he thought it was true. So he I don't know. I called him out of nowhere, and he's just like yelling and was like, "It's over," and all this stuff. And I don't know. I was really upset. I turned she's my best friend, so I talk to her about it a lot. But it's hard to get over it because I liked him a lot, and we talked, but now we don't talk anymore. And
the reason was because I had cheated on her. I was honest. I wanted her to hear it from me, not from anybody else. I told her. I know that's kind of stupid.
I guess there are a lot of different reasons why people break up and stuff. But I guess the way I would look at it is if you break up, for whatever reason, it just wasn't meant to be.
That's true. And maybe not at that certain time,
maybe.
Timing might be off,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Like the guy who said he told his girlfriend and he didn't want anyone else to know. I don't really think that was stupid. I thought that took a lot of guts, though.
Yeah.
Even though it did break up their relationship.
It's the whole honesty thing,
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
hopefully,
because,
hopefully being honest, even when you break up, you can still be friends,
Yeah, because it took the guts. She has to realize it took him guts to actually go and tell her that I cheated on you.
Yeah, it did take guts. A lot. I really think that it's important to be honest, and so does Dan. Let's hear his story of a recent breakup where he was honest.
I broke up with her, and she'd just gotten out of a year-long relationship right before. It might have even have been 2 years. It was a long time. And for her, breaking up again was a really upsetting thing. And I felt really bad about breaking up with her, but at the same time, what happened was she was really attractive, and we went out. She was a really nice person. We were good friends. I didn't like her in a way that I would want to be with her my entire life. And maybe sometimes I think too far ahead in a relationship, but if I honestly can't see myself with that person 15 years from now, even though it's just, a high school relationship, then I really can't be with them. It gnaws away at me, and I eventually have to break up with them. Being honest in that particular situation was really important, because if you stay in a relationship for a really long time and you're not happy in it, then it's just going to be harder to break up when you finally realize that you have to, because a lot of times you'll start making up reasons and people won't understand why you're breaking up with them. If you're completely honest, then the breakup goes a lot cleaner, and people don't get hurt as often. It's a lot easier to stay friends. That's what I do most of the time, and why I have so many friends that are girls that I've dated. Well, my best friend Kelly, she and I went out during her freshman year in high school. I was a sophomore, and we went out for maybe a week. It was the shortest relationship ever, and we just realized that, no, we were like brother and sister. It couldn't work. So we just broke up right there. And then the next day, she gives me a call and says, "Hey, you want to come over?" So we just went over there and hung out for the day. And that was it. We've been friends really since, and we hang out all the time. She's a really good friend of mine.
Oh, that's nice how he can stay friends with his exes and stuff.
Yeah, that is. It's pretty cool. So, what would you give as a good reason to end a relationship?
You don't like the person anymore?
Yeah.
That's a good reason.
I think that's a really good reason, because although some people think when you break up with them, you don't just want to be like, I don't like you. That's a hard thing to have to tell someone, but on the other hand, if you stay with them when you don't feel the same way anymore, you're going to lead them on and you're going to drag them along, and they'll probably feel worse because they'll see you're acting different and not know why. So it's just easier that way if you just be honest, like we were talking about before.
Yeah, it's if it's causing a lot of stress in your life, if you have a lot of things to do and you just can't fit them into your schedule, I don't think it's fair to have this other person when you're trying to do so much, and you just have to be able to say I'm going to college now, well, I'm going to be applying and stuff, and I just started going with a guy, and if it got to the point where I couldn't deal with what I have to do for school and be with him too, then I would have to break up with him, because my future is important to me.
That makes sense. Yeah.
It does.
I think another really good reason to end a relationship with someone is if you're getting hurt by them, physically or emotionally, because if you're getting hurt by them, it's not a healthy relationship, and it's not right, and you shouldn't be in that. So if anything like that's going on, you need to end the relationship.
Definitely. Right. Have you guys ever remained friends with an ex?
Yeah, I'm still friends with my ex, even though
The one who broke
up with me for her ex. Yeah,
You're a saint.
Yeah, seriously.
She ended up breaking up with her ex again, so like double exes. But we still talk, we still hang out, and I'm still friends with all of her good friends. So it worked out for the better.
That's nice.
I had a breakup recently, about like 2 weeks ago or so, and we're working on the friendship thing. I think we're gonna stay friends. I mean, so far it's hard because it just ended in things, so it's hard to go like right from being in such a close relationship to
Take
like
some
just
time.
friends. But I think we'll be friends.
You know, I went out with this girl my freshman year in high school, and we broke up, and now we're best friends. But it's not, like you said, it doesn't happen right away.
Right.
It takes time.
Yeah.
But man, we're like, even though she's out of college now, we're inseparable when we're together. Best friends.
That's
Awesome.
nice. How do you cope with a breakup? In our next segment, Dan talks about how faith can help.
Getting dumped is not a fun feeling, regardless of who it's from or why. You feel like, oh geez, what did I do wrong? Why is it, could I have done something different? Could I have been more attractive? Could I have been better? Could I have maybe not, been a jerk that night or something like that? But you can't focus on one event that happened or any one feature, because if it's meant to happen, it'll just happen. My faith has helped me to deal with breakups in a number of different ways. It's kind of like, I know a few friends who, when they've broken up with their boyfriend or girlfriend, feel like, oh my gosh, it's the end of the world. I just lost this person who I cared so much for, and they were everything to me. And I never felt that way. It's kind of like God is always there. God is going to be there, and He's around, even if you lose everybody else you care for here on earth, God is there. Respecting other people is really important in the Christian faith. I mean, if you love someone, you have to respect them. A lot of times people think, oh, I love this person, so, I care for them and everything else. But, you're called to love everyone. And love comes in a lot of different forms. So you have to love everybody on earth if you're a Christian. But to be in a relationship, it's a different kind of love. And just because you break up with them and you don't have that level of respect or love with them anymore doesn't mean that you can't still respect them as a person and a human being.
Yeah.
I agree with the faith is, if you believe that you have the power to overcome and you can still love everyone, and you don't have to be in a relationship with them to still be,
Right.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Yeah, you don't have to be a boyfriend or girlfriend to still love them.
Exactly.
Many times when we read the scriptures, we forget that Jesus had to deal with strong emotions. He treated even those who betrayed him with dignity and respect.
Right, and think about what Jesus was feeling when he had to tell Judas to leave the Last Supper to do what he had to do. Being faithful to the example of Jesus may help you to end a relationship easier.
Has your faith helped you in any way in dealing with breaking up with someone?
Yeah, it's like helped me curb my anger towards them. Like instead of being like super angry, I'm like, okay, well, God wouldn't want me to like get all like bent out of shape about this, and I should just live my life, whatever.
And also you think like God didn't mean for me to be with this person, and there's someone better for me.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
I think my faith helped me to realize that by not breaking up with the person, I was going to hurt them more because I'd be dragging them along, and I didn't want to be around them as often as I was. And I think that I was hurting them more in that way because they didn't know what was going on and what I was feeling. And I think my faith helped me to realize that that person would be better off if I just let them go.
Now, do you guys have any other ways to cope?
I write music.
Write music?
Personally, yeah. I during the breakup stages, I wrote a lot of songs about breaking up and being alone. But after a while, venting that creativity and the pain, it goes away and it gets, easier to deal with.
I dance.
You did?
I dance. Tap dancing is really good when you're angry because you can just pound out anything right onto the ground. And then I also do lyrical dance, which is like good when you're sad because it's slow and your like whole body just gets into it and all my feelings just like go away.
There are these two songs that I listen to all the time. It's called Kissing You by Desiree and Yesterday, the Beatles song, but it's done by a cappella by Boyz II Men.
Nice.
And I'll just put them on the CD player and I'll play them over and over and over and over again.
That is a great
And
song.
it's like I sit there and I start crying after a while after I listen to it. But it releases so much energy.
helps.
Yeah, it really does.
You know, if you're angry with the other person cheating or betraying you, express your anger, but express it appropriately. One's expression of anger should, not include verbally abusing the other person to all their friends.
Ruining another person's reputation is a serious act. And although it is tempting to do so when we are hurt, it is not the Christian way. Playing tennis, punching pillows, and jogging all help to physically rid yourself of the anger.
Let's go back to Dan for some more advice on dealing with breakups.
Good reason to end a relationship would probably be it's not a healthy relationship anymore, or you're not having fun anymore. To me, a relationship, when you're in one, it's supposed to be fun. Yeah, there's going to be ups and downs, but if you're fighting all the time, or if things are like more physical than they should be, then it's not a good relationship. A lot of people, they go out on the first date and hook up like crazy, and they really, get into the whole making out thing, and yeah, I used to be like that, but I mean, sometimes the best way to maybe think about a sin or learn about a sin is unfortunately to experience it, and sometimes you don't always understand it until it's too late. And having been through it a number of times, and the feelings of hurt that you give to the other person and things like that, when maybe a relationship moves too fast, I kind of know what it's like, and know not to do that with people. I don't think starting any relationship quickly is a really good idea. I mean, if you meet someone and, to me, someone you're going out with is a good friend. So for it to start within 2 weeks of meeting someone, it's really difficult, to hit it off. I would, be friends with them for a long time before I could even figure out if I liked them any more than friends. Things I've learned about breakups include don't do it over the phone. Maybe the biggest problem with, online and the phone and everything else is people get a little more brave on there than they would in person. And to me, if you're not going to say something in person, it shouldn't be said at all. If you can't say something to someone's face, then you shouldn't really be saying it. Through your faith, you can look at God and, there's so many better things in life to worry about than the fact that you just broke up with someone you went out with for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or, hey, even a year. A year is not long at all when you think about your life. And, you were with them a long time, and you learned a lot of things, I'm sure, and made a really good friend. And even if they don't want to be, with you, even as friends anymore, that's their problem, not yours. Be single and be happy and be yourself before you get into any relationship. When you go into a relationship, you lose a little part of yourself, and the other person loses a little part of themselves. And that's a good thing. That's what a relationship is all about. But before you give away a piece of you, you should be sure of who you're giving it away to.
You know what I really agreed with Dan is on the phone and online, people get so brave, and I totally agree with him because, okay, senior class trip, went down to Florida, was going out with this girl, she was home. Of course, I'm like, all right, I'm in Florida, I'm gonna have fun, but I have a girlfriend, so I can't have too much fun. What happens when I get home? I'm reading my email. The day I left, she sent me an email that we broke up. I was so mad. So mad. But I mean,
yeah,
it was stupid.
you
It was
can't do
senior
anything.
year, but
Did she get mad? Did she get, he was saying, you get brave?
You did get brave. Oh man, I can't go into what she said. Yeah, she burned me real bad.
I think sometimes though, the phone isn't so bad because you might be scared to do it in person,
As long as you can hear their reaction right away. It's not like, well, I'll leave them a message and, surprise! I just got this awful message.
Like with email, you can just write everything out that you're feeling and just lash out the person, and you don't have to really worry about hearing from them anytime soon. Like with you, how long was it, a week?
It was about a week, yeah.
Yeah, so she wrote it in a week later.
And I had no idea.
I think online's a problem, but I don't think the phone is such a bad thing.
Well, phones could be a bad thing, too.
Could be, but I think
it depends how long you've been with the person and how much you see them. Like, if you see them every day in person and then you just decide, well, I'm just going to call them and do this, then that's not right.
Yeah,
but if they're a person that's farther away and you talk to them more on the phone than you see them in person, then I think it's more acceptable that way.
I think what's worse is, if you get your friend to do it.
Oh,
say, so-and-so said that they don't want to go through anymore. I'm like, why couldn't they tell me themselves? And they're like hiding in the corner somewhere. I'm like,
Yeah, that's harsh. That's harsh.
You know, or again with the phone, they call up and they be like, leave you a little message, be like, oh, you're a coward, and hang up on you.
Like you may have had a horrible breakup, but with Jesus in your life, it's like you always have that super good feeling like, hey, tomorrow's a better day.
True.
Yeah, I think if you just look towards yourself and you know that you can still be happy even though you don't have a relationship, even though you don't have a boyfriend or girlfriend, that you can still have happiness in your life.
Because I think you need to learn to love yourself before you can love anyone else. So.
That's definitely true.
Yeah. And the only way you can love yourself is if you love Jesus, basically.
Exactly. Does anyone have any stories that they might want to share about breakups?
Any advice to help the future?
I think an important thing to remember, a good piece of advice, is to do what's right for you. You might worry a lot about how the other person's going to react, but if you're not happy, that's not good either. So you need to do what's right for you.
My mom always told me, and like, if you're upset with someone, 2 wrongs don't make a right. So like, if they cheat on you or something, don't go back and do something like that to them. Or if they say something about you behind your back, don't do that, because that's just making you seem like just as immature as them, and you're being on their level. And you should always be the bigger person.
Right.
Or like not to trust rumors or anything, and to hear it from them, because you don't know what other people are trying to tell you to ruin your life or stuff like that.
That's true. I think you can't listen to rumors. You have to hear it straight from them and stuff.
I guess the main thing to remember is that if you break up with somebody, it wasn't meant to be in the first place. Otherwise, you would still be together. So it's good to realize that you can move on and you're meant to move on.
Yeah, that's good.
Very true.
That's like all you really have to know right there.
There's someone out there for everyone. Maybe just that wasn't the right one right then.
Yep.
You know. So a few more tips on dealing with breakups are: allow time to experience the sadness and the pain after a breakup, but don't dwell on it.
It's probably best not to visit your place or listen to your song until the memory heals a little bit.
Don't play the victim. Truly, you might have been the victim of some type of abuse, but feeling sorry for yourself is not going to help.
If you were a victim of abuse, it is important to talk about it with a counselor.
Forgiveness is also important. Circumstances might not allow you to reconcile with the other person, but holding on to resentment hurts us more than it hurts the other person.
Asking God to heal your memories and to give you the courage to be kind will help you to heal faster.
How has your faith been able to help you cope with breakups? We want to know what you think. You can contact us through our website.
The address is www.realfaithtv.com.
Or you can pick up the phone and drop a little line, at 609-406-7402.
Until next time, take care of yourself spiritually, emotionally, and physically.
When we feel healthy, we are better able to deal with emotions which are painful.
God bless you, and we'll see you next time on Real Faith TV.